welcome once again to another episode of the live stream. And this is the first live stream of 2026. So, happy to be here, happy to have made it. Hope all of you had an amazing 2025 and a nice transition into the new year. I know it is the 12th, but I mean, that doesn't matter. I was actually on vacation with some family in Jersey, so I was doing my thing out there. I know that you kind of see the beard a little bit different. That's because, my barber's out there. So every time I go there, I try to take advantage, and eat at a lot of the restaurants that I eat and then, get nice. It's kind of messed up now, but get a nice shape up and, just do my beard as best I can. I really haven't found anybody that can do it as good as that person, but I think I just have really high standards. So it is what it is. But without further ado, let's continue, right? So, we do have kind of like what I want to title today's episode. It's going to be what I'm focusing on in 2026 and what I'm leaving behind. Now, this isn't a New Year's resolution by any means, but it is kind of like kind of different things that I've been thinking about in terms of, editing video, film, and where I want to go and where I want to take it. And, I started doing these live streams regularly starting July of last year. So it's been about like 6 months. And, I kind of want to make this year just, just update and out with the things that didn't work and in with the new things and more of like a personal growth as well. So kind of want to mix those two things. So again, this is more like a recap, roadmap episode instead of a tutorial. So I'm just going to take a little bit, and we're also going to watch a little bit of my last vlog that I did on a nice uh, holiday that I did. But anyways, it's just going to be a quick look. So before we go into the editing and cinematic breakdowns, the usual lives and Premiere Pro workflows this year, I want to just reset expectations, right? So 2026 isn't about more tricks. It's about better judgment. So let me show you what I'm focusing on and what I'm going to be teaching, right? So more tools won't fix bad decisions, right? So these are the things that I'm leaving behind, right? So um, I guess you could say it's more of like an evolution. I guess that's a good way to look at it. But you know, this is not a complaint. That's the number one thing. So, you know, things that I'm leaving behind, right? And let me know if you guys resonate with this. Number one, chasing trends for the sake of reach, right? Vanity metrics, and I know you hear this a lot. And I don't have anything against going using trends for content and things like that. You if you want to use it, go ahead. And if that helps your content where you're doing, cool. But I think it's one of those things where I think I value more the impact that I'm having instead of reach or views, vanity metrics in that case, right? And by definition, hitting trends or chasing trends, trends are just here for a moment and then they leave just as quickly as they came. So if you're just basing your content off that, I feel like you're not going to really have an impact. But again, if that's the thing that you want to do, by any means, go ahead and do it. But for me personally, I don't want to do that. I guess maybe I'll, hit something once in a while that's trending that kind of deals with the things that I'm teaching and the things that I'm, using myself. But if not, then I'm just most likely gonna leave it alone, right? Um, Over editing for energy. I know you see this a lot in a lot of content. Uh, you know, um, Again, it's like the stuff that's trending, the things that go really fast paced. Um, that's a thing in social media, but I just feel like uh, me personally, I don't want to over edit things, and you want to make things look very very nice and polished. But there's one thing being polished, and there's another thing of doing too much, right? Teaching features without context. These A lot of the times that I teach specific features within the program, I'll use them around or I'll teach it around me that I'm actually using them myself. So there is a context to it. So continue along those lines. And polishing edits that don't need polishing, right? So that's four things right there. Um, you know, you want to, again, one thing is polishing, and another thing is doing too much. And that's the thing that don't want to do this year. So, done pretending, more complexity equals better editing, right? You're doing too much, it becomes overwhelming. Let's just polish and make sure that you have even for you, like a signature touch on things. I want to have a signature touch, excuse me, on whatever it is that I'm going to edit, right? So if an edit doesn't feel better, it doesn't matter how advanced it is, right? You're just going to miss that substance behind it, right? All right. So let's do the second part, which is the things. So we just did the things that I'm getting rid of, and then this one is going to be what I'm focusing on, right? So I'm gonna keep it tight. Let's use three different pillars, right? Um, Editing confidence, right? Knowing when to cut, knowing when not to, which is very important, and trusting stillness. Um, and my next episode, live stream episode, is going to be on why edits feel flat. It's kind of going into that, and along the same lines of, we're used to very like got to keep your attention, a lot of cuts deep, like all the time. But we kind of let go of that stillness, right? Because we think it's going to linger too long. People are going to lose attention. But if you're speaking creative wise and not content that you're using for promotioning, marketing, whatever, but your actual work, I think we kind of lost that attention, that stillness that could build in moments. And you see this a lot in movies, and I feel like that's why the movie space, the film space, has really changed. As you see a lot of these Marvel, superhero and a lot of CGI and video effects, which is awesome, but it has its own place. But for me, I really like watching films, or I miss watching films where you just kind of see the things build out, things are stretched, and you feel a little bit more. Um, the scenes linger a little bit longer, and that's I don't want to be too philosophical in that sense, but that's what I enjoy, right? Um, and number two is cinematic thinking, right? Not cinematic gear. So learning from films, which is why I really love to do the cinematic breakdowns. I think that's an awesome. I have you guys enjoy that a lot, so I love breaking down the films, especially the ones that I love. Nothing of, well, I won't say nothing, but I tend to really recap like the older movies, not like black and white movies, but just like the ones that have really made an impact specifically on me. So learning from films like that, learning from art, and I mean like literal painting art. We have so much to learn from the techniques and brushstrokes that are used in uh, digital ways nowadays, and understanding light, rhythm, and restraint. All right. So again, cinematic breakdowns. These movies, they don't impress you with tricks. They earn your attention. They earn the right to have you keep looking at them. Right. So just remember, 2026 cinematic is a way of thinking. It's not a look. Okay. So we see these colors and these different techniques to do, but it's more of a way of a thought process. Look at it that way. All right. And number three, using Premiere Pro, the program that I really love teaching on, that I use the most as a decision tool. Right. So nope, not plugins, even though sometimes they do have their place. Object mask and things like that. Not gimmicks, and using what's already there, and just using it better, right? So every time I use the program, I know there's different things that I can keep on using, and things that are already there that maybe I haven't used to its full potential. They're already there, and things that are newer features, yes, I'm going to cover them, but kind of enhancing what is already there to help you use those new features as part of your tool belt, right? So, you know, you don't need new software. All you need is clarity, right? That's the thing. It doesn't matter what you use, and Premiere isn't limiting. Hesitation is what's really limiting you. All right, and all right, let's move on. We're gonna do a uh, section number three, and this kind of like really the last bit of it. I won't be here too long, but what to expect on the lives this year. Um, so Mondays we're gonna do more of a editing confidence, philosophy, real talk. Wednesdays we'll do the Premiere Pro techniques, the things that you guys love, techniques that change decisions, and Fridays we're gonna do the cinematic breakdowns. Um, and that's really more of like the recurring series. And if you want shortcuts, there are a million channels out there, uh, and you could go ahead and feel free to obviously look at that. I won't knock it. This I learned editing through watching YouTube channels. So do your thing. If you want to think like an editor, uh, this is where we're going. Different decisions, the real foundation of it. So I'm not here to teach buttons. I'm here to sharpen your judgment, make the quick decisions, and be able to have an arsenal and a base of which way to go and not feel overwhelmed by things, right? So, you know, this is just a close, and again, 2026, hitting it hard, right? First live of the year. And I appreciate all you guys and all the suggestions you guys give me. Everybody watching on TikTok, all your comments and different suggestions on different topics, like they're all going to be covered this this month probably. As I layer them out and sprinkle them out because you guys asked for it. Same as everybody watching on YouTube, and on YouTube I'll throw more of my vlogs and all my travels that I make. All the travels that I do and the different decisions that I take while I'm doing that. So it has that different aspect element of it. So make sure to stay tuned on that. And just remember, if you're editing this year and you want to work to feel more confident, more intentional, intention behind everything, and more cinematic, remember, not techniques, but a thought process, stick around, right? So this Wednesday, we're going to go a little bit more practical on, actual techniques. And Friday, we're going to break down on the cinematic breakdown series, the movie Heat. All right. So if you've never seen it and you guys want to kind of catch up on it before I do the Friday breakdown and you want to chime in, feel free to do so. All right. So just remember before I get out of here, 2026 is about editing with purpose. All right. Not pressure. Just remember that, with intention, not pressure. Right. So, yeah, we'll actually even break down this vlog right here. And this is an actual drone footage that I shot. I didn't think it was going to come out like this, but yes, we'll cover a lot of that stuff as well. So make sure to stay tuned, and thank you guys for watching. Those of you who had watched from the beginning and are still sticking around. 2026 is going to be an amazing year. So